Whoa, hey man. Some of the topics in this video may be graphic for some. We at HVXgoat Productions do not condone the use of illegal or legal substances. This video has been made strictly for educational purposes. Enjoy, dudes. Alrighty. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers, brother.
Hello and welcome to the first HVXgoat podcast, and we're here with my good friend Christian Stretch Mcgill. How's it going?
Good, yourself?
Wonderful. Glad to have you, man.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, how have you been?
I've been pretty good. Just steady working and working on a new paint job on my bike.
That's awesome. What's it's like a Slayer paint job, right?
No, I'm doing Sailor Jerry's.
Okay, yeah, I saw that one. Sorry.
Yep. No
That's
worries.
awesome. I've been looking at it and like, what are you doing for all of that? Is that all on? Is that like stencils and then everything else?
Yeah, it's just I look up letters on the internet, the style for whatever lettering, because
Right.
I'm not an artist myself. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
can't draw worth a shit, but
Dude, neither can I.
yeah. So I just basically I Google whatever lettering I want, pull it up on my phone, measure out the letter sizes for what I want for each letter or whatever on the bike. And then I just screenshot it, put a piece of painter's tape over, draw it out, cut it out, paint over it, do what I got to do to get it going. And then the all the stickers are from the bottles.
That's awesome.
I don't know if you know that the stickers come off.
Yeah, they
with the
come off,
Sailor
right?
Jerry's, yeah.
That's awesome.
So
It
I'm
looks
just trying to do a
great.
theme.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be sweet once it's done. Are you gonna do like forks and bars or anything? Or
I think I'm just going to keep my bars red like last year.
For
'cause
sure.
The paint job's still good on them. And I need to buy a new set of forks, so I don't know what
Yeah.
I'm going to do with that. I think I might go a couple stickers on it, though, because they're perfect for fitting.
right, man, forks are definitely important to get new ones like ever so often.
Yeah, I
I've-
bend a lot for my size.
Yeah, for sure. I totally snapped mine and fucked my whole side of my face. Like all of my teeth got pushed right in. This front tooth is fake. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, it was pretty crazy.
that's why you wear the full.
Yeah, that's why I wear the full face now when I ride park and everything. Street, it's kind of hard. Like, kind of got to see where you're going. But I'm gonna definitely get like a helmet that has a lot of coverage for riding street. So anytime that I do like anything big, I try and make sure that I wear it too. So
Yeah, safety is definitely important.
yeah, man, that's for sure. What was I gonna ask? Oh, at one of my BMX jams, I think it was somebody that ran into you. What happened? Like I wasn't even there. I was heading back in the car to go meet everybody at the park.
That would be Kyle Ray.
Oh boy.
We were all riding in, I don't know, a formation, say one guy here, me in the middle, and two guys up here.
Right.
I think it was Adam Wadambolt back here. Kyle Ray was right here. Jamie Susi was right here. And I can't remember who here was here. I think it was maybe Kyle Mantha, maybe. Anyways, we were all talking. We were drinking throughout the day, right? So I wasn't paying attention. And I'm looking over my shoulder talking to one guy. And out of nowhere, Kyle just throws a 180, hits my front tire, and turns my bars. And I just went up and over. Landed
fuck.
completely all my weight on my shoulder. And
Damn.
I heard a crunch. I wasn't sure. And the guys are like, "Oh, lift your arm straight up. If you can lift it straight up, you're fine." I'm like, I'm smashed, right? So I lift my arm straight up. Yeah, I'm fine, guys. Whoa, what's this? Then we looked at it, and it was like this, and this.
Oh
It
fuck.
was pretty brutal.
Yeah, man. How long did it take to heal that? And what was broken? It was your collar, right? Like your collarbone?
Yeah, collarbones. I don't know if you want me to pull it out or
Doesn't matter if you want to.
I don't know. There's shit. I don't know if you can see it there.
Oh damn, yeah.
So there's a plate right here.
Oh fuck.
Goes all the way across.
Yeah.
Whenever I move my arm certain ways, it'll lock up in position, and I got to figure out how to get out of it.
Oh my god.
So before I learned how to get out of it, which was like about a month and a half ago, I'd say, I used to push my arm up sideways until it popped,
Right.
and that was super painful. So now I just have to lift my arm straight up, and it pops out, and I'm fine, and I can go. I'm always worried that, say, if I go for a trick in the air and that happens in the air, I'm fucked.
Oh my god.
Because I
never
can't.
even
How am I
thought
going to
of
do
that.
this in the air and then be able to land my trick, right?
You do the sickest one-handers ever. Just extension. Oh, fuck, man. That would be dope.
Yeah. Took us about half an hour, I'd say, to get to the hospital, and we were about 5 minutes from it. We were all just wasted, so it took time to get there.
Yeah, for sure. I remember, I think it was Eric was biking down the road with your bike, and some cop tried to stop him and say that he stole your bike, and he's like, I totally didn't. Like, my buddy just fell. I gotta take it and make sure it doesn't get stolen.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay. And left him alone.
I don't think I heard that part. I heard that the bike made him bail.
He definitely ate shit
He
really hard.
ate shit really hard, I heard. Yeah, the bike went underneath his bike or something when he was doubling it and wiped right out. At least he didn't end up with injuries like mine.
Yeah, for sure. That's probably the worst injury that I've had at a jam so far, to be honest. And like the jams that I throw get pretty hectic. Like the last one, I don't think many people got hurt at the last one, which was really good. But I know the street jam before that, which was the one that you fell at, somebody tried to do a 360 down a stair set and just smoked their head super hard. And
that was at the school.
yeah, that was at Cortland, which is like, if anybody knows Cortland, it's a legendary street spot, like amazing spot. It's got an awesome bank to sub.
Didn't he get back up and do it again though and land
I
it?
think, yeah, he just went back up and threed it, and it was awesome. So
yeah, it's always good when guys get back up bloody or not bloody and just get back to it.
That's honestly like one of my favorite things, and something that I've gained just from filming is pushing people, like trying to get them to just get it, because I know they can. And there's one case of this, and it'll be in the bail section for the new video Space Goats, where my friend Roman, he's got to be like 15 at the time. He's the youngest in our group. He tries to bar spin this dirt jump and just eats it hard, like 3 times in a row, and just like kept trying. He didn't get it, but it was one of those things that like he kept going, and that was really impressive. I was really happy and proud of him for that. So he definitely has earned the spot that he's got in the video now. Like that was such a great like show of how confident and how committed he is, which is awesome.
Yeah, I need to get over my shoulder fear and put in some riding this year.
For sure, man.
Ever since I broke it, I just show up and I get drunk every year. Or every BMX jam, right? Like, what riding do you have me doing? Nothing.
It's all good, man. You're the comedy.
So I think I'm going to try to put something in this year.
For sure, man. It's always a lot of fun to have you there, so thank you for coming.
Oh, no doubt. It's always a good time to come.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely. I'm somewhat of a celebrity.
Everybody knows Stretch. It's funny because the Harvester jams have D-Block, who's just this like dude who just is next level. He doesn't ride, doesn't do anything like that. He just comes out and has fun. Like he'll just be in the corner just dancing, going nuts, and you're just like, okay, man, you do you.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, we got Stretch, so that's pretty dope.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so that was just like you just figured out how to do that a month ago?
Yeah.
Oh,
I've
wow.
been dealing it for the past year or whatever. I've been lifting like on the side because I didn't know what else to do, right? I was supposed to get physiotherapy after, but I never went for it. I just went straight for a job because I had been off for, I don't know, 9 months.
Oh, wow.
Almost a year with no work. My ex-girlfriend and her boyfriend let me live with them for the whole year, not paying anything, you know what I mean?
That's really nice of them, so.
They helped me out a lot.
Yeah.
But that was a part of me getting clean as well.
That's awesome. Yeah, I want to talk about that too. So I think we'll just start off at like the beginning, and we'll just kind of go through the timeline. Like, how old were you when you first started taking drugs? Like, at what age?
Honestly, I think I smoked pot like 10 or 11 years old. And that was just because my dad grew it in the backyard. You know what I mean? I don't think it was even like a bud form.
Right.
It was just fucking dried up leaves that I found in the house, and I just tried it out because I'd seen him smoke it so many times.
That's fair.
So I just wanted to try it. After that, I didn't touch anything till I was probably 13.
Yeah.
And that was pot again. Smoked that for a while. Then I started hanging out with this guy that I rode skateboards with. I was probably about 15 years old. This guy was in college, whatever. But, you know, as you hang out with BMX riders or skateboarders or whatever, you're always hanging out with the older crowds.
Of course.
And that, you know what I mean? So I told him one day, I was like, I want to try cocaine. He's like, okay. I got some fucking back at my dorm or whatever. So we went back. He grabbed it. We came back down in the car. I tried it out. Whatever. I didn't get the reaction response myself that I was thinking I was going to get, right?
Correct.
And so that was about my first try with like hard drugs, 15 years old. And then it was just pot for years.
Right.
And then I'd say probably, no, actually, you know what? 16, 17. I tried cocaine a couple more times, and then I had a really good friend of mine. I went to his house, and we were supposed to hang out and smoke weed. And he had this, I'd never seen this before, right? You make fun of crackheads, you make fun of people that do their drugs or whatever. And we always said, like, we're never going to touch these things, right? There's no way we're ever going to do these drugs. That's fucking stupid. Why would you do that?
Right.
Anyways, he's fucking smoking these fucking white boulders on ashes on a pipe. And I'm like, okay, I don't have no clue what this is, right? So he's like, yeah, here, try this out. Tried it out. As bad as it sounds, it's an amazing high.
Yeah.
It really is. All drugs are amazing highs, but, do you really want to take that trip down that road?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Once you open that door, you have a slim, chance to step back out that door.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because once you're in there, that amazing feeling, if you've got a shitty life going on, shitty childhood, whether it's, you got beat, you got molested, whatever, right? People go for drugs for those reasons. You know what I mean? And, I had a shitty upbringing. My dad hit me and shit. I think when I was 6, I got my first spanking or something like that from him. But after that, it was, open hand smacks to the face. By the time I was 9, I was starting to get punched in the face with fists. You know what I mean? And my dad gave a shit about me, I think. He just didn't know what way to go about how to raise a child, or when you get angry, don't fucking hit your kid. With that kind of force, I agree with spanking, things like that. You know what I mean? You should have to fucking discipline your kids in some way. You see society?
For sure. I understand that.
But yeah, I think so. 17 was the first time brushing with crack cocaine, and then it just over the years till I was say 24. I met a girl that had 3 boys, and I don't know, for some reason, I just wanted to play dad or something. I don't know what my deal was, right? So I got clean. I dropped everything like it was just a can of beer, just dropping it and I'm done, which was really weird. I don't understand how I did that, which will come into play in a few minutes again, but yeah, I lost my train of thought.
That's all good. So one thing that I was going to say is that I believe that a lot of people that get addicted to drugs and get stuck in that kind of path is that they have something that's happened in the past that kind of pushes them towards it. You know what I mean? You're not going to get pushed in the right direction if you're going for drugs. There's clearly a problem. There's clearly something that's happened in your past, and that's why you're doing it. Nobody does drugs just for fun, I believe
there's a chance that people can for fun, because there's what do you call it? Hallucinogenic drugs. Those are fun. You know what I mean? They're scary at the same time if you don't know what you're going into and you've never done it before, but
that's totally fair. Hallucinogens, I feel like people do them for fun, and as long as I don't think that many of them are very addictive or anything like that.
I've never found them to be addictive.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of research about those kind of drugs, including DMT, which is one of the strongest hallucinogens known to man. And I think it's definitely, there's a lot of good that comes out of that, apparently, from what I've read. I've never taken it personally, but from what I've read and what I've heard from other celebrities that have taken it, and just kind of the research that I've done, one person is Joe Rogan. He's a huge influence of it. I've heard. Yeah. So.
And they have epiphanies or whatever, and they become better people because of it.
For sure. It kind of makes you lose all of your ego, and it makes you kind of see the world for what it is, apparently, which I think is definitely, it's not a bad thing. I think that if people are going to take it, then they're going to take it. And I think that the best thing that people could do is, or not the best, but one of the best would be to legalize drugs and make it so that the government makes them, which is it's kind of sketchy because you don't really want that, but at the same time, you're not going to have fentanyl in your cocaine. You're not going to find stuff like that
Yeah.
in there that's killing people for no reason. Like I know a couple people that have relatives that have passed away just from fentanyl alone. And that scares me a lot because I know a couple people that do take cocaine rather often. And I'm always kind of worried about them. Like you never know, right? It could happen to anybody.
It's getting worse out there.
For sure. It really started in BC, and it's kind of sad that it's come all this way. And a lot of people are just they're just putting it in there because it's more addictive. So
Makes you wonder though if are they really putting it in there, or is this just people fucking doing fentanyl straight up and they're lying about what they're doing? They're closet people.
yeah, that's fair.
Just like the media puts out so much shit out there that's, we'll just keep putting stuff out here and everyone's going to believe whatever. Right?
Exactly.
Like, I don't know for sure. Maybe I'm wrong, but like I've been there. Like, I've never done fentanyl myself. I've never done opiates because I knew what the outcome of it was, Like, I can't just up and quit this. I'm going to go through dope sickness and all the bullshit, right? I think that's what mostly scared me away from it. But
it's all good, man. One thing I definitely got to say is good job, man. Like everybody in the BMX community that's known you for years, that has seen you go through all of this stuff, is super proud of you. Like,
yeah, I do hear it from guys here and there. Sorry.
You're definitely one of the guys that, like, their name is passed around quite a bit just for that stuff. We have a couple people that in the community, one which personally, that have gotten very, very addicted to drugs again. Like he actually
I won't mention his name,
yeah,
but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, for sure. He was a great guy. He's one of the first guys that I met in Kitchener. And you know what? Like I knew that when I met him that he was doing that stuff. But then over the time that I had been around him, he actually quit and he wasn't doing it anymore. And then I think personally my stance is that somebody came back into his life that was doing that stuff, and kind of, you're around that person, it's bound to happen at some point. So
that's why I've gotten rid of a lot of friends, like a lot. I used to have so many friends, and it's kind of depressing, you know what I mean? But to get completely off of drugs and keep it out of your life, you have to make a new circle. You have to get rid of everybody that you've ever used drugs with, unless you know for a fact that they're not going to use again. Exactly. Like there's a few people that I know and I talk to that I used to use with, and they don't use at all. They won't touch it. So it's okay to hang out with them. But I know for a fact, if I'm around those types of people and there's drugs around, I'll give in.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Good for you, man. Quality over quantity. It's like, do you want quality friends or a ton of friends, really,
Yeah, exactly.
So I think that with quality friends also comes a quantity of good friends too, because
for sure,
I know a ton of people that I'm super proud to be friends with and everything like that. And I'm just, like I recently cut one of my best friends out of my life, and that's really difficult. And you know what? I fucked up, but he also did at the same time. And you know what? I think we're just going to split paths, and maybe one day we'll hang out again. But I don't know. I think that we're just two different people than we used to be. And I think that is a big thing with people with drugs too, is some people are just going to keep taking and some people aren't. They're just going to quit, and that's good for them.
Yeah, you just have to wake up one day and realize it. It just comes to you one day.
For sure.
I've had thoughts of quitting drugs for years and years and years, but I never took it serious or whatever. And then just one day I woke up, looked in the mirror, bawled my eyes out. I mean, you hear these stories, you know what I mean? The only thing is about my story is I didn't go to meetings. I quit cold turkey, and I didn't use God because I don't believe in God.
Wow, man, that's awesome.
My higher power, because I don't know if you've heard of like AA groups and all that. They have a higher power, and it's right. God, or they say you can use Mickey Mouse if you want. Yeah. If that makes you feel better, use Mickey Mouse as your higher power. Exactly. I was my higher power.
That's awesome, man. That's really good. I personally am an atheist. I don't believe in that either. I don't know. I just can't find myself believing in it. I know quite a few people that do. And you know what? I'm happy that it works for them. Mm-hmm. I just think it's something that doesn't work for everybody. I'm
someone that needs kind of proof in front of me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Some guy wrote a book and passed it down. Another guy wrote a book, and another guy wrote a book, and they keep
writing
these books, and everyone's believing this. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't know. Yeah. I need physical proof.
That's fair, man. That's completely fair.
I have a BMX bike. Do you? Let me see. That's a nice bike.
Right?
I have a God. Let me see him. You can't.
Yeah. Maybe when you die. Like,
Yeah,
I don't believe so. Sorry, man.
More of the stories of life.
Yeah.
This will happen. Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe. That's awesome, man. I think that one thing with quitting drugs and kind of pursuing anything is just taking the first step. The first step is always the hardest. And I find that one way that I've really learned that taking the first step is the most important is filming. With filming, like, it's whenever I want to do a trick, it's very difficult. Like, I have to set up all the cameras. I have to make sure that everything's just right. But at the end of the day, once I get on top of that roof or I get somewhere, it doesn't matter anymore. It's literally just taking the first step or putting my feet on the pedals, and that's the hardest part. It always is. The first try is always the hardest. But once you try and you actually take that first step, it's perfect. Like, if you know what, you may fall, you may fail what you're doing, but you never really fail unless you don't try. And that's something that my dad always tells me, and that's something that I'm super happy to have a dad like him, because he's always told me that, and that the only way that you fail is if you don't try. And that's awesome. So
I need to keep that in the back of my mind, because like I said, I've been a Sally since I fucking broke this. I don't try anything really.
It's difficult, man. And you know what? Like, I've landed on my face 4 different times very hard, and it's super painful, and it's really hard to just, get up and look in the mirror the next day and be like, do I want to keep doing this? But you know what? At the end of the day, yes, always. Like, I always want to ride. I always want to do that stuff. And I think that riding BMX and skateboarding, any of these extreme sports, are always put in a bad group by outside society, saying, oh, these people do graffiti, these people do drugs, all these other stuff. That's not true. Like, I just personally don't find that at all. I think that if you ride BMX and that you actually pursue it and you keep going and keep going and keep going, you're not going to have time to do anything else, Well,
like, when I got rid of all my friends after quitting drugs, the only people I ever want to be around is the BMX community. So I'm like, there's got to be a jam coming up. When? I need it. It's like awesome. A Jones for it, honestly.
That's great.
Can't wait to come out and hang out with everybody, you know what I mean? Because it's like me with a bunch of people. I like being around people, but I can't stand people because everybody's a fucking crackhead, you know what I mean? Especially where I live. Cambridge is brutal. I guess it's brutal here too. I just don't know the people, right?
It honestly depends. Like, it can be definitely pretty difficult. I don't know too many people that are into that stuff, but I try and keep to kind of my own group for the most part. Like, I don't really ride skate parks anymore. Like, we ride street all the time, and whenever I ride street, it's with my crew. So we don't really meet too many people, sadly. But yeah, I definitely think that the one person that was in our group that's now back on that kind of stuff really needs help. Like, he definitely does. And I think that a lot of people have kind of turned their back because it is a difficult situation to be in. It's one of your close friends and they've started doing this stuff again. And it's so hard because, it's to everybody else, it's just, just don't do it. But when you're a recovered addict, it's a lot harder than that,
It is. It is when it's in your face every day. It's it's out there everywhere. You just gotta, try to be positive every day, put your best foot forward, and try not to be negative.
For sure.
You know what I mean? I don't know. That's how I look at it.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on marijuana being legalized? Do you think that it's a gateway drug at all, or no? I personally
I
don't think so.
I don't think it's a gateway drug because you can start with any drug.
Exactly.
Depends on who you hang out with, who you're hanging out with growing up. I've had a few friends that their first drug they ever tried was heroin, and it was through a needle.
That's fucked up.
They've all started at like 14, 15 years old.
Wow.
I dated one is a family member, and the other one died.
Oh, wow. That's too bad, man. Sorry to hear.
So, no worries. It's a long time ago, but...
Yeah, it's still difficult, every day. But, I personally think that with pot being legal, that they definitely need to kind of work around what they're doing with it. But I would like to see that. I think that in places like Colorado where they have legalized it, it's really helped the community.
It has. I've seen the mayor speak on it, and like crime has dropped so much. There's other drugs aren't there. You know what I mean? Hey,
for sure.
Smoke weed and be happy.
I think that a big part of that is that a lot of people that were causing these crimes was literally just people getting arrested for pot. Like, it's all it takes, man. You just put it in 2 different bags. You have 2 different strains. It's in 2 different bags. Oh, you're a dealer.
Yeah.
In jail.
Well, that and doing other drugs when you don't have the money for them and you're addicted to them, you'll do anything you can. You'll rob someone you love. You'll rob your own mother. You might think in your own head, I don't care how high on drugs I was, I would never steal from my own mother. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Like,
especially if you're shooting them. If you're shooting drugs, you're hard up crazy for anything.
Yeah, exactly.
It's really brutal.
Yeah, it's really upsetting. What was I going to ask? I know I have some more questions here. Let me just bring my phone out and see.
All right.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, man. My phone has been screwing up for the last 2 days. It just, like, every time that I need to do something important, it just shuts off. So I'm hoping it doesn't do that. It's like 4 years old, so.
You just got too much stuff on it.
Yeah, I think so.
Too many pictures, too many videos.
Yeah, man, you gotta have those nudies.
I was talking BMX.
All right, that too, man. Alrighty. So, one thing I did want to talk about a little bit was, what was the lowest point in life? Like, can you give us just kind of some details that, like, the lowest point in your life that you were on drugs that kind of was just like super difficult, like, if you don't mind talking about it?
No, it's just it's been a long time since I've talked about it.
Yeah, that's okay.
Like when I first got clean, my thing, I couldn't go to meetings, right? Because I don't do the meeting thing. I get to talk in a group, glorify my drug, and that's how I look at it. Sorry.
Exactly.
But yeah, I'd talk to people straight off the street, a complete stranger, and I'd start talking to them, and then they would talk back with me, and then before I knew it, I'd be standing there on the street talking with someone for like 45 minutes about my life, kind of like doing this, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's so easy to talk to a perfect stranger because, I mean, how are they going to judge you? How are they going to say anything, put anything on you when, you know, you're never going to see that person again?
Exactly. That's such a powerful thing too, man. And I think that a lot of people are so afraid to go and talk to somebody new just because they're afraid of rejection or anything like that. But man, honestly, who fucking cares? Like, if you go and talk to somebody, they're like, oh, I don't like you. Okay, bye. See you never. Like,
yeah, exactly.
For sure. That's really dope, man. I'm really happy to hear that you actually went about and told other people, because it doesn't seem like much when you're doing it, but that could affect that person's life for the rest of their life. That could be the thing that gets them away from drugs, or something that, you know, they see somebody taking it and they go and tell your story to them. And I'm kind of hoping that this podcast will kind of help a little bit too, like if anybody is recovering and they need help. So
well, it's I think with anything that is not opiate, it's all in your head.
Yeah.
You can quit. You gotta want. You gotta
sure.
want a better life. You gotta want a better tomorrow. You know what I mean? If you want to keep waking up, fucking doing your drugs and having a shitty life and blaming everybody else for your problems, keep doing that. But if you want a better life, do something. I have so many friends that are like, oh, me, my poor life. You know, I can't get clean, but they're not actually out there trying.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I have friends that I keep at a distance. They're on my new Facebook account, but I still keep them at a distance. I don't hang out with them. You know what I mean? I want to say so much things to them, but I think what I would say to them is just they'd take it the wrong way.
It's really difficult for a lot of people to kind of understand where you're coming from, you know? Like, I think it's just one of those things that unless that person has seen what you've gone through, and you know what, some of them might have seen it, but it's just really fucking hard to get people to actually listen and to actually try. And I think you're exactly right. The only way that you are going to change is if you want to change.
Exactly. Shit.
Is there any advice that you have for people that are getting clean and anything like that? Like, is there anything that you could say that would kind of help them a little bit? Did you find that there was anything that kept your mind off of it?
No, my mind was on it constantly. I still get urges where the feeling of how it felt when I shot up crystal meth. I still get the feeling. It scares me. It gives a rush over my body, and it really feels weird. And I have the instant urge to go and use. You know what I mean? And I just know that there's consequences with that. I'm going to be back in the gutter. I'm going to be back in all the shitty places I've always been through in my life, because, I mean, it took me till I was 36 to figure this out. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be 39 this year in June. But yeah, if you want to quit, you just gotta want it. You gotta want it more than anything. I guess that's like celebrities or people that want to go somewhere in life, that want to do something. You gotta want it, and you gotta go for it 110% every day.
That's awesome.
That's the best way I can explain it. And for anybody that's trying to get someone to quit, you can't make anybody quit. They're only going to quit if they want to. I'm not saying for people not to try to get their loved ones to quit. But when you're pushing on them, if you push too hard, you're just going to push them away, and they're going to go use more, and you could end up with a dead relative or friend or whoever. You know what I mean?
For sure.
It's a delicate subject. It's really hard. You know what I mean? But you look forward to the next day. Try to stay always positive.
That's awesome. I think that a lot of people, it's really hard, especially nowadays, to kind of keep a positive attitude every day. I think personally I'm pretty good at doing it, but there is others that just have a hard time. Like it affects them every day with no matter what it be, whether it's drug use or, maybe you're in debt or something like that.
Yeah.
So
well, there's always going to be things in life that bring you down. You know what I mean? And you can think about them, but I don't want to sound like a dick or something. Like, keep those things in the back of your mind. Just push them off to the side. Don't do that. Always keep them there. You know what I mean? But for the most part, just try to be happy.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty positive note, because I think that a lot of people that have issues where they are constantly upset or they can't seem to find the energy to do that kind of thing, it's definitely difficult, but it's not impossible,
It might also come with age.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. Well, I've noticed a lot of things changing with my age. Not that I'm getting super old, right? Like I said, I'm only going to be 39. But yeah, it feels like a little bit of wisdom's coming with it. And with getting clean, I guess my mind's not so fogged and in the clouds, because you make shitty decisions and you don't think proper when you're high on drugs.
Right. So I was going to ask if you have any kind of, like, what's it like to take some of these drugs? Like, I don't want to get, like, I don't want to get you into this, like,
oh, no,
thing,
I don't have, I can talk about it a lot more comfortably now than
for sure
I used to be able to.
Okay. Let's say we'll start off with kind of, like, what's it like to take cocaine? Like, I've personally never taken it.
Awesome. Don't get me wrong, I'll never touch it again, but I don't know. You can't explain the high. It depends on certain people. Like I have ADD, ADHD, and marijuana gives me an uppity, I want to go do stuff all the time, and cocaine doesn't do that for me, which it does for
a lot of, I guess,
normal people that don't have mental whatever sort of issues, or ADD or whatever, however you're supposed to say it. I'm not a medical dude, so I don't know.
That's okay.
But, yeah. Same thing with like anything that makes you, like crystal meth, anything that's supposed to give you an up, it makes me down. It's really weird. One
of those points that I was going to make is that I feel like a lot of people that get addicted to crystal meth and stuff like that is because they can't afford cocaine or anything like that. Do you agree that they're kind of the same or not so much?
No, I don't find the highs at all the same.
Okay.
I mean, it gives you that uppity, well, not me, but gives people that uppity feeling of, high energy. I can do anything. I can get, with crystal meth, you're going for 2 weeks. With cocaine, you're overnight, maybe into the next day. Depends on how bad you want to mess up your nose. But yeah, there's always like an end limit for cocaine. You're going to get your sleep somewhere within like 2 to 3 days. Crystal meth, you're up for, depends on how much you take.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you can, I've gone 2 weeks at a time with, a cup of water and nothing to eat. Total skinny bone rack, just thinned out, look like Skeletor, you know what I mean? My own girlfriend would tell me, eat something, eat, and she would yell at me and freak out, but I just wouldn't eat because I'm just so high and I don't know how to explain it.
That's a good representation. Yeah. No words needed. Oh man, that's definitely difficult. I feel like anybody that does get addicted to those kind of drugs goes through that same phase. They get very, 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 very skinny, and it's definitely very difficult to eat and do stuff like that. So, at what age did you start kind of using like hallucinogenics and stuff like that? I'm totally pronouncing that wrong, but whatever.
I'd say probably in the same year. Same year I started doing my first time I tried crack. So about 17, 18 was the first time I tried doing acid, and I did it for a complete summer, which was totally awesome. I mean,
Awesome at the time, not awesome when it comes to a couple years later, you know?
yeah, well, I mean, I can't say it's not a good time, you know what I mean?
Right.
I've never had a problem with it where it's ruined a relationship, it's ruined jobs, I've never lost anything because of using it. You know what I mean? Because it's not an addictive thing. You could probably get addicted to it because you like the good time. You know what I mean? But you're not gonna. It depends on the person. You know what I mean? You could give someone acid and then they could get up off this couch and run in the street and jump in front of a car that's going 60 down the street, intentionally jump in front of it. I'm a superhero. I can stop this car. You know what I mean? But then there's other people that take it and they're conscious of everything that's around them. You know, don't go do something stupid. Don't go jump in front of a car. And yeah.
I think it definitely depends on the person, and that if you're interested in doing that stuff, that you really, 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 really have to be careful, because you could be that kind of person that does jump in front of a car, you know? So
yeah, or just doesn't pay attention to your surroundings, and you know, it's like someone that's getting inebriated drunk, blacks out, and then they don't know what they're doing.
For
you know
sure.
What I mean? If that were to happen on acid, I couldn't even imagine what the person would do.
right. I definitely feel like alcohol is a drug that you can call it a drug. I definitely think it sort of is. I think that I would personally say that weed and alcohol are still a drug. It's still in the class that it changes the way that you feel. But I think that if you're going to be drinking and stuff like that, you definitely need to be conscious of the fact not to drink too much. And I know for some people it can definitely be very difficult. Myself, I find it to be kind of pretty easy not to go overboard. Like, I'll definitely drink a bit, but I try not to go overboard with it. Would you classify like marijuana or alcohol as a drug at all? Like, do you feel the same or not at all?
Not really. I don't look at marijuana as a drug, but I mean, you can call it what anybody can call it, whatever. I don't know. Society just calls it that, and that's what we're used to calling it. So that's what everyone calls it. You know what I mean? Because you're raised in a society where everything is.
I think that drugs have a bad name in general, just because of the ones that are horrible for you. That for some of them that aren't as bad, it's kind of affecting that. Like, I personally feel like marijuana and mushrooms and DMT and stuff like that isn't going to be the worst thing in the world for you. You definitely need to be careful when taking it. You need to make sure that you're not going to go overboard with it. But it's when you start going down the road of crack and heroin and all of that stuff that's awful. Like, you don't want to do that stuff because how addicting it is. Mm-hmm. Would you agree with that?
I agree, yes.
So there's somebody that was in our group a couple years ago who's still kind of floating around. They're no longer living here anymore, but they recently had a experience with fentanyl, and I'm so happy that they're okay. This person has a 6-month recovery time at least before they can really do anything, and they actually lost the feeling in one half of their body, I believe, and I'll be interviewing them at some point. But have you ever had anything like that with these kind of drugs? Like, I know you've never taken fentanyl intentionally or anything like that, but have you ever had anybody in your kind of group circle or anything like that has?
I'm sure they did.
Right.
Just
maybe not intentionally, but
no, I'm sure there's lots of people in the house that I lived in. I lived in a trap house for about a year and a half. You know what I mean? Anything I wanted, I could get my hands on because it was being sold out of the house. Sorry, what was the original question?
It was, have you ever had anybody like in that?
Like OD or
just anything like that? Like they've had?
No. I don't think my ex-girlfriend got someone high on heroin, shot them up for their first time after, went probably a week after I had my wake up and realized I want to quit. I also up and left my house, left my girlfriend in the apartment, totally moved out and went homeless because I wanted to be clean. You know what I mean? But, why do I keep getting sidetracked?
All good, man. Do you mind if we talk a little bit about being homeless and how that might have helped you just get through all of that stuff? Because I can imagine that was definitely not easy. And you know what? Like, I know now you have a place to stay and everything like that. And I feel like a lot of people that do end up being homeless, it's very, very difficult because you are living on the streets to get back up and start working and start getting back into that.
For me, I was very lucky. Like I said, I had the ex-girlfriend and her boyfriend, and that's got to be hard for them, or for him anyways, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Having an ex-boyfriend live in the house where you and your girlfriend, and I'm the ex of the girlfriend, you know what I mean? Just because thoughts run wild, I understand. I'm a guy,
Yeah,
I get it.
No.
But yeah, if I didn't have I had it hard, you know what I mean? But I was lucky and I had somebody. For the people that have nobody,
That's difficult.
try to be as strong as me, but be stronger than that by 110%. You know what I mean? Because you have absolutely nothing, nobody. I don't know what to do in that situation. I mean, I wouldn't give up personally. That's not me. It's not in me to give up. You know what I mean? I'm that type of person. I'm big, strong, you know, whatever. But I mean, I'm not the type of person to give up.
Yeah.
So,
and you know what? Huge pat on the back to those two because they definitely helped turn your life around. They were people that were definitely there 100%. And especially the guy, because I couldn't do that. Not at all. But
yeah, I think about it sometimes too. And I'm like, fuck. But I mean, now since quitting drugs, I've always been kind of, I don't want to toot my own horn, a good-hearted person. I have a big heart, you know, I wear my heart on my sleeve. But ever since I started getting clean, I try to make myself a better person. I've been an angry fucking person my whole life. You know what I mean? Fucking hate this, hate that, hate. And I've tried to put the word hate out of my life. Everything since I got clean. You know what I mean? I don't do the whole God thing, but I mean, it's weird. I don't know. Just getting clean and then your life changing. I never saw this in my future, right? Just years and years of abusing drugs and not giving a fuck about anybody or anything. You know what I mean? And now I care. I'm just glad that the Jesus thing isn't there. Those people are so annoying to me. Sorry.
that's okay, man. Honestly, it all depends. I personally think that's awesome. I think that a positive attitude can change anybody. It can change anything. Like if you...
Honestly, I think that's all it is. I don't know. I'm kind of blank-minded with a lot of shit. My mind is absolutely fried. My short-term memory, I have none. You know what I mean? Which really makes it kind of complicated and hard for certain things with work and shit like that. You know what I mean? I'm sure my boss gets fucking super annoyed with me because I can't remember a measurement from you to the saw, which is the camera, away. You know what I mean? It's just my mind is fried. My mind's fucked. That's why I keep having these, you know, I'm explaining something to you for this video and then I'm like, blah, blah, blah. What was I talking about?
That's okay, man.
My
Don't worry.
mind's actually just fried. It's fucked. You know, like I'm not stupid, but
Yeah, I
you know
get
what I
that,
mean?
man.
I try to explain it to people, and they can't grasp the concept of how do you forget? You're 39, or almost 39. How do you forget? You know what I mean? It's
It happens.
lots of years of drug abuse.
For years before I even met you, I always heard your name from like everybody in the scene, including like
Really?
a lot of the Kitchener guys. Yeah, of course. I heard your name from Adam and Eric
Oh, okay,
all the
yeah.
time, as well as Braden and some of those guys. And then it was definitely nice to finally meet you. And once I did meet you, you had been completely clean. Like I've never seen you on drugs or anything like that. And I think that's definitely a solid way to meet somebody, I guess. But
I'm sure you would have liked me either way before. Well, probably not when I was in my needle using stage. I was a lot worse of a person then, but
do you mind if we talk a little bit about that? Like, how did you get into like that? And was that...
Like I said earlier in the video, I've had 3 people in my life that I've known that were close to me that have used heroin at a young age. One was a friend of mine, Kathy, and she did that. And so she died from a brain aneurysm, my friend Kathy. She died from a brain aneurysm at age 15. She was trying to quit heroin. Anyways, that was my somewhat first brush with people that use needles. There was also a best friend of mine. His dad was a Vietnam War vet. And he shot up crystal meth for 30 years. They found him dead on a beach. You know what I mean? And at 50 years old, I went to his funeral. Everything just, yeah. After I noticed with him trying to quit, also, he had to walk around and use a notepad and paper for everything he learned new that day, which is, you know, he used crystal meth. I used crystal meth, but used it for 30 years. I used it for 2. You know what I mean? My mind's already fucked. Here I go again, going on something else. So I had a friend die at 15, and I swore I would never touch needles. Then I had a friend, and his dad did that for 30 years, shot up crystal meth, and they found him dead on a beach. I was like, I'll never touch needles. 34 years old. Like, I only shot up for a short amount of time, but I mean, fuck, it was enough to ruin my life. But, yeah, fucking, so then I'm dating this girl, and this is the girl that I had mentioned I dated that had started using heroin at age like 14 or 15. She got clean. She was clean for like 5 years or something like that. I met her when she was 19, and I was 34 or just turning 35 or something like that. And I was living in that house, and everybody was doing drugs around me, and I was doing crystal meth. I wasn't into needles yet, and I would touch it here and there, but I tried to mainly stay away from it. I was trying to focus on working out, but I was also using steroids. But yeah, it just started getting worse and worse. Excuse me. She was homeless, and she was cute as fuck. So I was like, you can stay in my room. You need privacy to change. I'll get out of the room, like whatever. My room's your room. If you need a place to stay, I'll sleep on the floor, you can sleep on bed, whatever. Just, I want to try to help you not go down this path again after hearing what you've gone through, you know what I mean? Starting at 14 or 15, shooting up heroin, getting clean, and now you're back to drugs again. You know what I mean? So I told her, you know, you can stay with me, blah, 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 whatever. I'll try to help you get clean, whatever. That was my thing, you know what I mean? I just wanted to help her. I didn't want to date her, nothing. But, like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm a guy. I said she was cute as fuck. So, you know what I mean? Like, the thought was in the back of my head. But the main thing was I was just wanting to help her get clean. You know what I mean? Yeah. I was like, oh, this poor chick, she's fucking going down the wrong path. Fucking blah, blah, blah. Weeks went by. I couldn't fucking help her. I was still with my doing meth a little bit. Not really trying to focus on working out and whatever. And eventually this is going to sound shitty, but it turned into you can't beat them, join them.
That's fair.
I couldn't help her, so I gave in. I started getting high, getting more high. I didn't know that she was shooting up, but I knew that she had a past of it. And it came out later. I busted her doing it. I kind of got upset with her, but I mean, how can you get upset with somebody whether I'm smoking crystal meth, I'm eating crystal meth, I'm fucking snorting, did I say snorting? Snorting, smoking, eating, or shooting it. What does it matter? What does it matter how you're taking it? That's how society looks at people that bang needles as fucking the worst fucking pieces of shit in the drug society. But what does it matter how you use it? You're still using the drug, right?
That's
I just
fair.
want to get that point across.
Yeah, of course.
But not that I'm glorifying needle use, you know what I mean?
No, of course.
I don't touch the stuff. It's been forever. But yeah, so I can't blame a 19-year-old girl for my choice to use needles, but that's where it started. She was the first one that put a needle in my arm. I tried it out. They put a little bit less than what they were using in the needle. I didn't really get high. Second time, mind blown. After that, I started getting psychosis from the drug.
Oh, wow.
people that lived in the house, my closest friend that let me move into the house, my roommate, I'd be out in the street in my boxers, socks, and a muscle shirt, thinking that people are out to get me, like scared, like freaked right out just because I was high on drugs, you know what I mean? And the first time he tried to come near me, he tried to like hug me. I fucking jumped 15 feet in the air and fucking tried to swing at him.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
My mind was totally fucked from this drug. It was the worst drug. I don't know if it was just years and years and years and years and years and years of using drugs, and crystal meth is what put me overboard. I think that's maybe what it was, because I think that was a big part of me quitting. I was also getting scared of how high I was getting and the feelings I was having and just the things I was doing. And yeah, it's not a life worth living. I mean, some people can't quit because they're stuck in it, but if you wake up one day and you want to, go for it and stick with it. Because I mean, it's better. Who wants to be in the fucking gutter? You know what I mean? When you could be living a normal life, or what is normal, but whatever life, and have a roof over your head and not worry about your next meal and fucking, just everything.
Right. That's awesome. When was that like one of the last drugs you did before you quit?
Crystal meth, yes. I was hooked on crystal meth. And then I had remembered people telling me how amazing cocaine was through a needle. So I obviously tried that a few times. But yeah, that was mainly the last thing I did. And I went back to it a couple times. You know what I mean? Because quitting isn't easy.
No, for sure.
I mean? With anything, cigarettes, coffee, whatever. You know what I mean? Whatever your addiction is, it's going to be hard to quit.
That's an awesome statement. I think that's totally true, that whatever it is, it's super difficult to quit. It could be anything at all. And a big thing right now is a lot of people, I'm not going to compare this to drugs whatsoever because it's not, but a lot of people are getting the same kind of dopamine hits that they're finding with certain drugs just by using social media apps, and people are on them all the time. Mm-hmm. I think that's like, it's something in its own. Like, you got to be careful with it for sure. But I don't know. I can't compare that to drugs at all because it's not. It won't. I don't personally think it'll ruin your life.
They still say it's an addiction.
It's definitely an addiction.
I mean, like I've been to places, like I've been in meetings and shit before, where I learned not to like them. But they pull up charts and it's got so many things of addictions on it. It's insane.
Well, thank you for coming, man.
Thanks for having me.
Super awesome
Appreciate
to have you
here. Can't wait
here.
for the next BMX Jam.
Yeah, man. I think it's going to be May that we do the next one. It'll be Money Talks Jam again.
What's the date on that?
I have no idea yet. It'll be sometime May or June. I'll come up with that. But
all right, awesome.
Yeah, come on out. I'll be giving away cash, so you might get some free money.
Maybe I'll ride. Maybe I'll drink.
Either way, you're getting money, man.
All right, thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Perfect. Thank you so much for coming out.
No problem.
Alrighty, and that's us closing out the first podcast. Thank you so much for watching, and tune in for the next one.